He followed me home and stayed outside my apartment door long after I had locked myself inside. I was standing barefoot in my kitchen, holding a knife I had grabbed from the drawer, watching the thin gap under my front door. A shadow kept blocking the hallway light, moving away, then coming back like somebody was pacing right outside. I had only seen the man once before that night at the gas station down the street, but somehow he had followed me through 2 turns into my complex, up 1 flight of stairs, and straight to my door. The worst part was, he wasn't knocking anymore. He was just waiting. It started 20 minutes earlier at a small gas station near my apartment. I had stopped there after work because my car was almost empty and I didn't want to deal with it in the morning. The lot was mostly empty except for 1 gray sedan parked near the air pump. A man sat inside with the headlights off. I noticed him because he was facing the pumps but never got out. When I walked inside to pay, I saw his reflection in the glass. He was watching me through his windshield. I told myself not to be dramatic. People sit in cars all the time. But when I came back out, his driver's side door was open and he was standing beside the car looking directly at me. I got in my car fast and locked the doors before pulling away. I checked my mirror once and saw the gray sedan pull out behind me with no headlights for the first few seconds. Then they flicked on. My apartment was only 6 minutes away, but I took an extra turn just to see if I was overthinking it. He took the same turn. I took another one behind a closed laundromat. He followed again. By the time I got near my complex, my chest felt tight, but I didn't want to drive home if he really was behind me. So I passed my entrance and made a block. The gray sedan passed too, just slow enough that I could see the man's face turned toward my car. I should have kept driving, but panic makes you choose the closest, safe-looking place. I pulled into my complex, parked crooked, grabbed my keys, and ran. My apartment was on the 2nd floor at the end of an outdoor hallway. I heard another car door shut behind me before I reached the stairs. Not loud, not rushed, just one clean sound that told me he had parked too. I didn't look back until I got to the landing. He was at the bottom of the stairs, one hand on the rail, looking up at me. He wasn't smiling, he wasn't calling out, he just started climbing. My hands were shaking so badly I missed the keyhole twice. The hallway light above me flickered once, then buzzed low like it was dying. I could hear his footsteps coming up the stairs, slow and even, not running. That made it worse. He knew I was scared, and he still didn't hurry. The key finally turned, but the door stuck because the frame always swelled when it got humid. I shoved it with my shoulder and slipped inside right as his shoes hit the top step. I slammed the door, turned the deadbolt, and put the chain on. Then I backed away and stared at the handle. 3 seconds later, it moved. The handle turned down once, stopped, then slowly came back up. I held my breath. Then it turned again, harder this time, like he was testing whether I had locked it right. I grabbed the kitchen knife because it was the closest thing within reach. My phone was in my work bag on the couch, but I didn't want to cross in front of the peephole. The hallway outside went silent. Then the floor creaked on the other side of the door. 1 step to the left, 1 step back. The shadow under the door shifted with him. He wasn't leaving, he was listening. I finally crawled low to the couch and grabbed my phone. My battery was at 9% because I had forgotten to charge it at work. I called 911 and whispered my address, building number, and apartment number. The operator told me to stay inside and not open the door. While she talked, I heard him move again. Then a soft knock came from the door, not loud enough for the neighbors to hear. Just 2 little taps, almost polite. I didn't answer. He knocked again and said, "I know you're in there." His voice was calm, like we had already been talking before. The hallway light outside flickered again, then went completely out. My apartment dropped into a strange dimness with only the blue glow from my TV lighting the room. I stayed behind the couch, holding the phone close to my mouth. The operator asked if I could see him through the peephole, but I said no. I wasn't going near the door. Then I heard something slide softly against the floor. At first I thought he was leaving a note, then I saw it, a thin white corner of paper pushing under my door, inch by inch, like somebody was feeding it through carefully. I didn't touch it right away. I stared at it from behind the couch until the paper stopped moving. On the side, facing up, he had written my license plate number in black marker. Under it, he wrote one line, "You should not have turned around." My mouth went dry. That meant he knew I had noticed him. He knew I had tested him with those extra turns. He wasn't some random man who happened to drive the same way. He had been watching my reaction the whole time. The operator told me officers were on the way, but my phone flashed a low battery warning right then, and the screen dimmed. A blocked number appeared on my screen while I was still on with 911. The phone vibrated against my palm. I declined it, but it came right back, blocked number, again and again. The operator told me not to answer. Then my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. It said, "Why are you whispering?" I looked toward the front door so fast my neck hurt. There was no way he should have known I was whispering unless he could hear me through the door or unless something else was wrong. I lowered the phone and stopped talking. Outside in the dark hallway, he laughed once under his breath. I moved toward my bedroom because it had a lock, but halfway there, I heard a sound from my balcony. My apartment was on the second floor, but my balcony faced the back parking lot and had a low roof line near it. The vertical blinds shifted slightly, even though the sliding door was closed. I froze in the hallway. The front door was behind me. The balcony was ahead of me. For the first time, I felt trapped in the middle of my own apartment. Then my phone buzzed with another text, "Don't go in the bedroom." I looked at the bedroom door, then at the balcony blinds, and realized he could see inside from somewhere. A door opened down the hallway outside. I heard my neighbor, Mrs. Carter, say, "Who are you?" Her voice sounded scared but sharp. The man didn't answer her. I ran to my door and looked through the peephole before I could stop myself. The hallway was mostly dark, but I could see him standing 3 doors down, close to Mrs. Carter's apartment, facing her. He had one hand behind his back. I yelled through my door for her to go inside and lock it. The man turned his head slowly toward my peephole. He knew I was inside. Then he smiled for the first time. Police sirens got close, and that was the only thing that made him move. He walked toward the stairs, not fast, not panicked, just calm. Mrs. Carter slammed her door so hard, something inside her apartment fell. I kept watching through the peephole until he reached the stairwell. Before he went down, he turned back toward my door and lifted one finger to his lips, telling me to be quiet. Then he disappeared. When the officers got there, they searched the parking lot, the stairs, the breezeways, and the back side of the building. The gray sedan was gone. No plate, no camera angle clear enough to catch his face. The police took my statement, took pictures of the note, and asked for the gas station location. I thought that was the end of the worst part until the apartment manager checked the hallway camera the next morning. The footage showed the man outside my apartment door before I ever got home. He had been there at 9:03 p.m., standing still in the dark with his hands in his hoodie pocket. I didn't pull into the complex until 9:41. That meant he didn't follow me home to find out where I lived. He already knew. The drive from the gas station had only been him making sure I knew he was behind me. I moved out 2 weeks later and stayed with my cousin until I found another place. Police never found him, and the gas station said their cameras had overwritten the footage before anyone collected it. The apartment manager fixed the hallway light, but that didn't matter to me anymore. What still bothers me is the note he slid under my door. The license plate number was real, but it wasn't the plate on the car I drove that night. It was the plate from my old car, the one I sold 6 months before I moved into that apartment. I still don't know how he had it or how long he had been waiting for me to come home. If this story made you check your hallway, your locks, or the car behind you tonight, subscribe to This Horror Real. New grounded horror stories drop every week, and everyone is built around the kind of fear that feels too close because it could happen right where you live.